Hi everyone, this is Nanette, and I'm here with, sorry, there's just a tub button and it keeps popping open. I'm here with Angela Rose, and today is going to be like her big channeling debut, I'd say. Um, so I'm going to do an intro. I'm going to do an introduction. You're not funny, and did you hear that? No, you didn't
Being
hear
a
what
little
I
bit
said.
perverted.
Yes. Okay. Um, I'm going to do a little introduction, and today we're going to talk about the chaos. And Michael, Archangel Michael's here, of course. And I'm just going to say what he said, and then I'm going to turn it over to Angela for channeling. I'm going to ask the questions. He said, okay. He said, because he goes so fast, and then I'm like, wait, we got to go back. He said that the chaos that we see, you see the chaos out there, you see it in the form of the election season, you see it in the form of what's going on with the pandemic, you see it in the form outside of you. And what happens is when you internalize it and you bring it back out into the the he says slow down, I'll make sure you don't miss anything. You bring it back out into, the people in your life, and it's like the butterfly effect, and it goes back into the collective, and it just gives more fuel to the fire. It just keeps it going and keeps it harder, and then it's an endless cycle. And he's saying this is what self mastery is about. I feel like
Right.
we just answered everything. It's over.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And it totally alleviates the transmuting that energy that is stagnant, that is not out for what we're supposed to do with it. Like, observing and processing it properly, but not exchanging it back out to the collective, like as that in that oneness. Um because we do need to hold space. We do need to hold space, and for everyone. So everyone's journey, right? The journey isn't experienced the same throughout all parties. So when because I was suffering with that right now. Like I was just telling you, I'm ready to do this. However, I do have to check the stats on the election. And why do I have to? What is it going to do to me either way? You know?
And
Um,
that's what Michael's saying. We
yeah.
have to hold space for everyone, but you first. He says you first. So why is the chaos affecting you in the way it is? And instead of deflecting it or pushing it back out to other people, why is it affecting you? And kind of look at that you know what he's told me recently? This is a really good pointer. He said, and you'll understand why he told me this. He said, first transmute the energy, see if you can transmute it, and then if it's still there, it's yours and you can look
Right.
at it.
Right. Which I
Hmm.
got that same message this morning, just
Oh
the
wow.
other side of that, which was observe it, like feel it first before you anchor it in to your being to be transmuted, because then you're not being clear about what and how it feels and if it
Hmm.
is even yours. So it's exactly the same thing, just through two different filters,
Yeah.
and it made
Oh
sense to
good.
me, because it was like, okay, they were like, you enjoy um pretty much like my fairy self, and being definitely not grounded, but I enjoy seeing everything from a different perspective. And
Hmm.
then sometimes when, and pretty much I'm a, people, and I'm advised that, oh, you need to ground, you need to ground, you need to ground. I don't need to ground. I don't. I'm just not a fan. But that's me. And nobody gets to tell me how I enjoy to be in my own energy, you know?
No.
Um, so but when I do contemplate that of, oh snap, you know, am I not grounding enough? Am I not being present like in this third dimension? And you know, but all it ever comes back to is that I'm not being the observer first. When I observe first, I get my intuition kicks in, my knowing, my acknowledgement of the reality is present. I am present. When I pull it in first and not observe, then I'm not doing myself a service, because I'm really taking all perspectives outside of myself into the only reality, not my, it's almost like it's chalking off as mine doesn't even matter, you know, because it's all that programming, it's all that how it's supposed to be and who thinks this and whatever, where I see myself very clearly that I am different than pretty much anybody
Yeah,
who's not
your
aware.
own truth. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask the first question, because in listening to all this and seeing what we're saying, you know, something just really popped. I know who's filling my head with the questions. Thank you. It's a good question. So there's also the opposite effect. There's been so much chaos for so long that there are so many people that are accustomed to the chaos, and it's affecting them in so many different ways. Sometimes it's depression, anxiety, sometimes it's just, you know, having no zest for life at all when you're used to having that. And the question is, um mhm, how can someone become more aware of their uh, of this state of being used to the chaos, as opposed to truly, you know, what truly what? Uh, as opposed to truly, okay, but that's the same thing. Truly being checked out for another reason. So we're staying on the matter of chaos. Okay, so let's channel on that for a minute.
Can you put that back together as a question?
So the opposite, you know, the opposite of feeling like you're in the whirlwind of the chaos, you know, that's a good visual, the, you know, the eye in the center of the storm, or of the tornado, and how it's
Right.
calm, and how you believe that you're calm, but you haven't taken the steps to become
Right.
that. You're just
All
used
of it
to.
comes back. Okay. Okay. Okay, so all of it comes back to the fear. That it's the underlying fears. It still comes back done in within oneself.
Mhm.
Okay, so we are at a higher percentage, if you would like to put a number on it, of people that are aware that they're not in the center, or they are in the eye of the storm, but it is still
Mhm.
very prevalent. Have to see what is triggering us or pulling us in the form of chaos, distractions into the storm. And that is that underlying, it all comes back to fear. They're telling me there's no difference between 1 ounce of fear and you're scared to death. You're still in that same mentality where
Energy.
that is your,
Mhm.
exactly, where you're just, they just keep showing me like pulling, like it's a vacuum, like it's like pulling you in, but when you have little bits of fear from different things that you haven't wrapped up all of it within yourself, it's like you're being strung in a million different directions. And so
All right,
here,
I want to clarify. Go ahead, finish your thought.
they just was saying like here lies where distractions are so easily absorbed and it'll just take you away, because you don't have to then see everything for what it is, because it's all within. Nothing is actually in the storm. It's all right here. And it would be very much easily more easily done. You guys just use really good English, and I don't have very good English. But to not necessarily ignore. We don't want you to ignore, but it needs to be dealt with. But that's where distractions, chaos, all of it, but this is all, it's all part of our journey. And whoever, which I believe, you know, there's a little bit of it in all of us, because we are at this next level of the energy that's being brought forward to support us and boost us up. So it's bringing out all of the little things that we haven't healed.
Yeah, I want to make something clear here, because and everything you said was right on point. And here's the thing about it, okay? What she's saying in layman's term is that we use distractions to hide from the fears that are deep inside, because a distraction, it keeps you from having to face something that is very uncomfortable to face. And if you're not yet connected to the point where your guides are constantly because I've been told that for years, no distractions, that's a distraction, and we talk about it too, you know.
Yeah.
Little things that are brought, and I'm like, that's just a distraction, I don't have time for that, that's a distraction. I mean, people that kind of drop away from your life, or that you walk away from, situations, energies that are distractions and that aren't for your highest and best interest and keep you on the path. If you are allowing the distractions to encumber you and keep you from facing these things, that's your choice.
Yeah.
However,
they were just saying that's free will. And that is,
it's free will.
If you are halting your own path, yes, you have people, and that okay, so they're showing me, they're not saying, but they're showing me pushing people out of the way. So those are the same people that we had brought into our reality based upon our vibration and what would be supportive of certain circumstances. But when our free will takes over and we are not ready to address that, we're actually pushing people out and creating a new path for ourselves and deviating from the course of the collective consciousness, even though it might be, they're saying, even if it might be 5 or 6 people, that you are on that same trajectory to be in that realm with them for a while, and you will assist each other. When you are not focusing on your truest light and you're, you know, saying, ooh, pump the brakes, I'm just not going to do that right now, then you're actually taking like a right and they're all going to the left or whichever way. But do you see that? Like,
I see that, but I also think the opposite is true too, that sometimes we keep people in our trajectory
safety net
to make the distractions and the safety nets. And sometimes they must be, you know, we must move past that and look at what it was that it, you know, brought us in that situation so we can stay on our path. And I'm just saying it's different for everyone, but the thing about
I totally
it is,
get what you're saying. I personally get what you're saying. I have to check my dinner, so
so also, you know, the energy is so ramped up. The chaos is just crazy. And if you committed to a certain path, if you said, yes, I'm going to take this path, and you start going the other way, it's going to become even more chaotic. I mean, we've all done that. We've all gone down that way.
No, I totally, like, I swear today was like my uber clarity on that. And when I say that, I feel excited, but I also am like, did I waste time? Blah, blah. And it's the first thing I started thinking is judgment. I started judging myself because, but the end result, which is my clarity, is so much more valuable to my soul growth and to my remembrance and my mastery, that I'm working towards, is just that understanding that I'm human, and I'm having this experience, but I'm learning and I'm doing the best that I can. So I think, but I don't, right now it's way too fresh to even go that deep on that particular thing with me on my level. Now, what spirit has to say is a completely different animal, but, in the same sense, they're going to make sure that I understand it first before I bring it forward to try to help other people.
Everybody enjoy the tour of Angela's space. Hi, Andrew. I'm in a video. My son's
I love
waving.
Andrew. You and me, chicken wings one day, kid.
Oh, that boy gets fed very well. Don't you worry about it. No chicken wings very often, but he gets fed well. So, okay. Okay.
Don't forgive me. I'm a working woman. I got to make my din and do this at the same time. I'm a beautiful multitasker.
So I just think we should talk about some options to help people calm the chaos so that they can actually get a hold of and start working toward their own self-mastery.
Okay, well, they said it's time to focus. That's what it is. It's focus on why you're experiencing the chaos. Look, I have goat cheese on my fingers while I'm telling you this. But that's it. That's it. They just, because I'm going through, and there's no perfect way to ever have a moment of exploration than when you're going through it on your own. And I am.
Yeah. And you can go outside and ground if that works for you. You can
nature,
get a bath.
Yes, nature.
You can meditate. Nature is very, very helpful.
It's so perfect. Yeah. It is so perfect.
Okay, well, I don't know if there's much more to say about it. I mean, we could talk all day but I want the main points to kind of rise out of this. And I think it's an important thing to look at, and hopefully, as an individual, it's just like, who said that? I'm going to quote someone, and I can't remember who said that. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Who was that?
Yeah. I don't know.
So it means, you have to look at you first. And it's as above, so below, as inside, so outside.
Right.
So when you learn self-mastery, the world's going to look different, period, to you.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And it gets better. It gets so much better. Like, when I say this morning, and I'm not talking yesterday, like I had an hour and a half of straight just I felt like I got this. But as soon as you even get into that energy, they're going to be like, except for you don't, but you're doing well, and kudos. But it all comes back to focus. It's focus. It's surrender, standing in your power, like just being you. And, if it resonates, go with it. If it doesn't, don't. Trust your intuition. Like, it's so us now. Like, like there was such a period, at least for me, because, I've been awake for a couple of years, just 2. And, my channeling just kicked in exactly a year ago now, Boo, you and you taught me how to train myself. But, it's crazy. It's a completely different space. It is, to me, that's just the way I feel. And it's a little overwhelming. But all they keep saying is no judgment. This is not a race. everything is so important to deal with it one step at a time. One step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're showing me my golf game right now. Seriously, that's all I see is my entire team golfing, and I'm in the middle because I love golf. My only one hit matters, right? You're not gonna par every hole by doing them all at one time. That one present moment, that one hit is the only thing that's going to get you closer and closer to the end, to the goal, right? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought that they would bring in golf, but no, I think that's literally like, but every person, but it comes back to distractions. If you allow for them to take over your reality, you have no room for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's fine. It's fine if you want to take a break, if you're stressed out, but let's not lie to ourselves and think that doing the inner work is what's stressing us out, because it's the lack thereof, and you're feeling guilty because your intuition and your knowing knows that you need to do it, and in exchange you're supplementing with a distraction, which is funner and weirder, and eventually it won't even feel normal because you're going to be like, this is such bullshit. I'm not being true to myself, which then causes frustration and more judgment if you allow it. Or you can see it for what it is and move through it and realize you are human, and these things are put in our way as they are to be distractions and or chaos. So beautiful in the day in the life of a human.
Of a crazy human. So, okay, yeah, and I think we were talking about maybe doing an open Zoom next time.
I think
I'm not
so.
sure how to do that other thing.
Well,
so
I
if you're in
to someone, and there's some platform, so anybody on here, if you guys could possibly, if you were tech savvy, maybe, because I'm not. Oh, we have to bring up about this video tonight. Can I go ahead and throw that out there about my notification?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Okay,
I love that
so
stuff.
welcome to Crazy Town. So Nanette is like epic. She's very organized and has things going for her. So I get a random text, which I had agreed for a million times that I'll do a video whenever. So I walk in from work. It's my first day in my apartment. Got my cooler, got my wine, got my luggage, the whole kit and caboodle, 16 trips up the elevator to get to my apartment. I get in here and check my phone, and I see from her, you want to do a video tonight? As soon as I was reading it, I had a notification pop up, and it said, do the video 11/3, 7 p.m. And I immediately called her. I called you because I was like, hey, how is this even legal that you can set a notification in my phone on my Google Calendar without my knowing? Like, and you're in Texas and I'm in Georgia. Like that, how, please do teach. Well, I don't really know if I get it, but is that a thing? And she's like, no, and we're doing it at 7:30. Okay, well, I wasn't aware of today, let alone do the video. Anyways, so
that was someone in your spirit team. That wasn't me. I love it though. I think it's
but
amazing.
that was my question, is I thought, okay, well, maybe she tagged me like in Zoom and scheduled it and it automatically linked. And I was like, no, I mean, because I had like 78 emails that are hooked up to my phone. Like I was just lost. But anyway, we were supposed to go on here tonight. And even if we're just holding some crazy ass light codes or something we're supposed to exchange, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I always enjoy anytime I get to play with spirit though, because they just don't be dirty. Don't be dirty. I know, I felt it right in my root. Bunch of gnarly ass.
It wasn't me. I was just listening.
No, but you got it too.
Oh my goodness. All right, we love you guys. Mwah.
Smooches.
Let me stop the recording.